have a system that does not work, like a company, like China, it doesn't work. The structure does not work. You sit down, dialogue, and look at the structure. And look at it and say, how do we go on with this? Let us sit down and talk about it.
So we really need to sit down and talk?
Yeah, it's something that is inevitable.
What about 2014 confab?
That's what I'm saying. They've discussed it before. Maybe we're talking about the implementation now. Since it has been discussed, let us look whether is 36 states viable? Is 50 viable? What is viable? Where are we going to look? For me, it is all about looking at the future of the country, the viability of our operations, and everything. If I look at restructuring, the first thing that comes to my mind is, yes, we must restructure, because we must look at the cost of governance, because the cost is unacceptable. So, America, with 18 trillion economy, has 50 states. Of these 50 states, one state, California, has a 39 million population. The size of California is about 50% the size of Nigeria. In terms of size, they have their GDP is 2.6 trillion, which is 6 times our GDP. California alone. New York has about, say, 1/6 of our land size. The GDP of New York is 1.5 trillion, which is like about 4 times our GDP. And I can tell you the cost of running office of governor of California is less than the cost of running the office of governor.
So the states are not viable.
No, you can see. We don't need to be told this thing. China with the 11 trillion economy have 33 states. And then you have all these things. I'm not saying shrink all this, but let's look at the size of the economy. Look at everything, and then states can be created. After Indonesia, in the past few years, they've created some states. Let's do things in an organized manner. What it is that
would you suggest? Would you subscribe to a regional government? Like some people have suggested that we need to go back to regional government before the 1966 coup. We were before
we might not go back there. I don't entirely agree we'll go back there. We don't have citizenship. Before it was 4 or 3. No, we're not going to go back there. We might look at it and say, this 6, or this might be more viable, or this can help us to reduce. For me, it will help to reduce cost.
If we break down the present structure?
Yeah, completely. It will have to. Let me go further to tell you. A state that operates a unicameral, which we do in the state, like in America, is the state of Nebraska. The state of Nebraska have 49 legislators.